Hi everybody, this is life coach and angel tarot card reader here every week in mind, attracting more beautiful things into your life. And I'm here with Prudence as I am every Friday. And I have no problems with Facebook today, so I think we're gonna be okay. Yay. The Facebook gods are helping us. So I want to talk to you guys today about, we're doing that through divine encounters. Okay, Facebook's going in and out, but I still think we're okay. Okay, so I want to talk to you today about attracting more beautiful things into your life, which is what we talk about every Friday. And today I want to talk to you about how to do that through divine encounters. And it's not a question about whether or not this encounter is divine or that encounter is divine. Every encounter that you have is a divine one. The only question is if you are treating it that way. So ask yourself if you are treating your encounters as divine, because every one that you have is a divine encounter. And so what does this mean? This means that you are aware of or looking for the magic in everybody that you meet. And so I have a little story today that I'm going to tell you about a divine encounter that I had. Happy Friday the 13th, everybody, by the way. I hope everybody's doing something a little freaky tonight for Friday the 13th. I think it's cool that we have a Friday the 13th in October. Wait a little bit because, again, Facebook's going in and out. Okay, so 2 years ago today, I know I talk a lot about Paul McCartney. It was just part of my life. The music is a passion that my husband and I have. And so I talk about the time that we got on stage with Paul, and that happened actually 2 years ago today, Friday the 13th, October 13th, it was 2 years ago today, a moment that really changed my life. And so since I'm talking about divine encounters today, you might think that, since I brought that up, you might think that that is the divine encounter that I'm going to talk about. Of course, meeting Paul McCartney was a divine encounter, and of course I treated it that way. It was Paul McCartney. But the divine encounter that I'm going to talk about is actually an encounter that happened the day before that. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that. So my husband and I went for like 3 days. It was a very magical vacation to Columbus, Ohio, of all places. No offense to Columbus, Ohio, but it was not the first place I would have picked to go if somebody asked me where I wanted to go on vacation. But we treated it pretty sacredly, and it was a magical time. It was a magical few days that we were there. And so the day before the concert, the day before that awesome night, my husband and I were on the city bus, and there was a homeless person that started talking to me. And my husband kind of was like, okay, of course, Elizabeth, but anyway, so this homeless person started talking to me, and he had no teeth, and it was just, I remember thinking, this person just deserves, because I'm with all these Paul McCartney fans, right? And I'm thinking, this person deserves my attention as much as Paul McCartney does. And I remember thinking and seeing this light and this beauty in this person, and thinking, like I said, thinking that he deserves my attention as much as Paul McCartney, and thinking that he's the same. Just thinking about how he looked, I saw light in him, that same light is in me, and that same light is in Paul McCartney. And it was just this realization that I had, that I got at this deep level that day. It's because I'm waiting for the video to come back. I remember during the concert even thinking that, thinking about that homeless person, and just thinking about how we're all the same and how he is no different than Paul. And I know that since I got that at a deep level, that there was some internal shift that caused that internal shift that I had on this deep level actually caused us to be able to meet Paul. It was like a block was removed, a shift happened. And so that encounter was truly divine. I always think of that encounter I had on the bus that day with that person who was homeless, and it was definitely divine. So that is my challenge for you all, for all of my viewers today, is to go out there and treat all your encounters as divine. It's not about whether or not this encounter is divine or that encounter is divine. It's that they all are divine. And so make sure that you treat them all that way. And actually that makes your life very magical. Prudence is moving around. I watched Marianne Williamson's live stream this week, and she talked about A Course in Miracles lesson. I think it was 154 of God. And so what does that mean to be among the ministers of God? It means that everybody that you meet has magic in them. And so this is the other thing that she talked about, and this is another thing that is interesting, is about how, everybody's kind of looking for the next person, the next relationship, the next most important person that I could be with. And so it's about really showing up and being with who you are with right now, and And, you know, have you ever walked around and seen that people are walking around and you don't feel anybody's really there? That happens to me at the store sometimes. I'll walk around and be like, I don't know, it just seems like everybody's kind of somewhere else. What if you were fully present? And what if everybody did actually treat all their encounters as divine ones? I think the world would be a much better place. So yeah, imagine if everybody was to do that. And so, like I said, Marianne Williamson was talking about, you know, being there fully present with that person. It reminds me of that Crosby, Stills and Nash song, if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. So if you can't be with the one you think you love, make sure that you notice and see the God and the divine in the one that you are with. The other thing that she talks about is how people are so many times waiting for that job, that next job where they're gonna really do well and in this world than they're doing. And I always tell this story about, I don't always tell it, actually. I wrote a blog about it probably 2 years ago. I don't talk about it that often. But the blog was about a tragedy that happened in my family's life 10 years ago, 2007. My sister-in-law had taken her own life. And at that time, my nieces were 10, it was a tragedy. My nieces were 10 and 7. And I was like 29, I just was single, lived at home, and I was able, because had gone back to school, and I was actually able to move in with them during that time. And the house, you know, that house felt, when you'd walk in the house, you felt this, I felt this sadness. You know, I don't even know if there's a word to describe what I felt. It was just this thing that I felt in my heart. Scariness, emptiness, fear, I guess. And what happened was, before my sister-in-law died, she had hired this housekeeper. And so the housekeeper would come every other Thursday to clean the house. And so, you know, I'd walk in the house and I had this empty feeling. But every Thursday, this housekeeper was an angel. Every Thursday I would walk in and she had cleaned the house with such love. She had such talent in what she did. Even the way that she put the stuffed animals on the kids' beds was with such love. And I really feel this housekeeper did not speak English. I think that my brother and I remember him and I trying to tell her what happened. I don't know that she even understood what happened. But I remember looking in her eyes and she got it. So I felt like she understood. She understood that something very bad had happened there. And I really believe, was part of everybody's healing, because she was an angel. You know, she would come in, I would feel her energy, her comforting energy in there on Thursdays when she would be there in the house, and it was like a complete miracle. And, you know, shortly after that, I was at a conference or something where these women were talking about how they had a housekeeping business and they felt like they were supposed to do something better and greater in the world. And I couldn't tell them that story because it was too close. You know, I wasn't at a time where I could really talk about it. But I wished I would have. So if you're out there, whatever you're doing, if you're cleaning houses, if you're checking out at Walmart, whatever you're doing, that is your divine challenge right now. That is your divine assignment, I should say, right now. And do it with love. And, you know, if that housekeeper would have been thinking about how the day is going to be over and thinking about, you know, what she's going to do when she gets home, she wouldn't have had that same effect on me, where I'm still talking about her today, 10 years later, where I felt like she was an angel and that she really helped our family to heal from that tragedy. So if you're just now joining, I'm talking about divine encounters, and I'm talking about attracting more beautiful things into our lives. And I've told 2 stories, so you could always watch it again. I've told 2 stories about some divine encounters that I've had in my life and some miracles that have happened. So the whole moral of the story is to make sure that you treat all of your encounters as divine ones, because they are. It's not about whether or not this encounter is divine or that encounter is divine. Everyone is. It's just whether or not you are aware of it. So be there, be fully present. As Marianne Williamson would say, live your life deeply. So live those relationships deeply, be there and be present for that when you're going to meet the next person, but be there. Love the one if you can't be with the one you love the one you're with. So, and whatever you're doing in your life, whatever job you have, or whatever you're doing today, do it fully and be fully present and do it with love. I don't care what it is. Yesterday, I was watching Marianne and I had to go to a meeting, and she was talking about how she asked God, you know, what should I do at this time? And I asked God, you know, well, what should I do today? Because we all feel like we should go out there and do something so, you know, great all the time. And he said, be there fully present with the girl that you're going to meet with today. And that's what I did. And it definitely made the meeting more magical. And so I do talk, in my first video series, I talk about how to attract more beautiful things into your life. And the first step is always gratitude. So this whole thing that I've been talking about, level gratitude, like I'm thankful for flowers, or even though I am thankful for flowers, I have to say, I feel a deep gratitude for flowers. But I'm talking about this deep gratitude that you feel, that you live. I mean, you can feel it. If I really feel it, I can feel it in my fingers. And it's almost like, that is the gratitude I'm talking about. So be grateful and feel that gratitude for that thing is that you're doing today, and know that it is a divine. Among the ministers of God. I think that's Course in Miracles lesson 154. I'm among the ministers of God. So remember that when you go to the store, when you're around a lot of people, remember that. Okay, so I am going to pull a card. I said I was going to do a past this time, one card for the week. Okay, so I know Instagram is working great. Facebook is in and out. So hopefully it's working and it's not cutting in and out. It looks like it is to me, but I think we're okay. Okay, so I'm just going to pull one card, like I said, one card for the week. If you are just joining me now, I'm pulling one card for the week. One card for the week. Whatever we need to know. And I'm giving him a good shuffle today. Whatever we need to know for this week coming up. And this is from Angel Tarot Cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Okay, my audience is small. It's always bigger than I expect. Really for you. It's for those people who are watching on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and also I put it on YouTube later. So whenever you watch this video, this is for you. And so this is for the week coming up. I don't know, I don't have a card that's wanting to come up. I think it's because I gave them such a good shuffle. That's okay. Doreen always says, sometimes the angels are quiet. Sometimes they're very loud. Sometimes they come right up. Okay, so for this week, we got the King of Fire. Okay, so this says, King of Fire, motivational, idealistic, ambitious, and charismatic. It says focus, focus, focus. So communicate with vision, be a leader, and advice from somebody creative. So this is really saying the fire deck is really about passion. It's about doing things. It's about action. So make sure that focus, focus, focus. Whatever it is that you want, whatever that divine assignment is for you, make sure that you're focusing on it this week and that you're going out there and that you're doing it, because you can do anything. The King of Fire, this is what this means. Make sure that this is that you are a leader, that you can be a leader, whatever it is that you're doing, be creative and be a leader in it. And make sure that you're open for advice from other people too. So while you're a leader, you're also open for advice from other people. Not that you necessarily need that advice, because I think this card is really saying that you can do it, that you, that you have it, that you have what you need. And it is really all about passion. I love it because the king is on top of this huge dragon, if you can see it. So it's a very powerful, remember that for the week, and peace and love, everybody. I hope everybody has a great week, and happy Friday the 13th. Like I said, I hope everybody's doing something a little freaky tonight for Friday the 13th. I love that we have it in October this year. So I'll see you guys next week, Fridays at 10:30. Peace and love. We love you. Bye.